Surprise onside to open it. Ball is out, flag on the play. And new head coach Jody Wright of Murray State, you knew he was going to come in here and try to do something to get Mizzou off guard, and I don't believe that's going to stand because the ball didn't go 10 yards.
It was right there on the line, but you love the call, Jody Wright. Your first-time head coach, huge underdog on the road. Why not roll the dice, see what happens, try to seize momentum right off the beginning. I love the call.
So Daniel Blood was the man at the moment from Missouri that was able to get the surprise onside kick. But yeah, if you're Jody Wright, 65 new players will get into their story throughout the evening. Why not? The only thing that this could do, Coach, we'll wait for the call.
There is no foul for an illegal block. The kicker was more than 5 yards from this kick when contact was made. The result is first down, Missouri.
All right, so now what you've done, you've surprise onside kick and offense led by Luther Burden III and Brady Cook. See how that responds.
Yeah, but I like it. They stayed onside, good execution. And it looks like he had a shot. They blocked, knocked down the kicker. The ball's bouncing around. You had an opportunity, go make a play. But now you've given Missouri field position, but they're so explosive right here. You have to look right now. You get this, might even change you. I know you're scripting the first couple plays, but you get this field position, you might be thinking, let's take a shot down the field, play one.
That and, oh, you want a surprise onside kick us? Watch this. I've got number 3, Luther Burden. Is Brady Cook. Brings out the offense. That's Burden in motion. Pop pass to Burden off the left side. There goes Luther, first play of the game, and a good game for the Tigers. That'll be just at the first down marker. They're going to give it to him. 1 touch, 1 first down, Luther Burden.
And that's a great job, the coach. You get your best player the ball early, get everybody into a rhythm. That extends his consecutive catch streak to 23 games. Keep your stars happy.
The running game's going to be one to watch. That's Nate Noel, the transfer from Appalachian State. Cody Schrader, the all-everything from the SEC a year ago from Missouri. Just got picked up by the Rams, waived by the 49ers. But we've seen Nate Noel play for Appalachian State. They have him and Marcus Carroll, a transfer from Georgia State. They believe they will complement the backfield pretty well.
Yeah, when you go recruit running backs out of the transfer portal, it's great when you have a great O-line to sell them on.
104 career starts up front. Cook to the right, keeping his eyes downfield. He can do this as well. Talked about it in the open. That'll be a first down. Brady Cook getting it himself.
Nice patience. You know, when you come out and drive, opening game, one of the things you want to see is everybody come out, execute, be consistent, be smooth. Brady Cook, right now, you got all the energy, excitement in game one. It's not there. Tuck it down, run, get the first down. Let's play the next play. You show it. See his veteran experience in those decisions.
Play fake. Boot. Right. Incomplete. Intended for their talented tight end, Brett Norfleet. That looked as if it was going to be an easy pitch and catch. Falls incomplete. Second down. Couple of new rules we want to get you updated on throughout the broadcast. One of the biggest ones we'll talk about offensively, headset communication. They can call the ball play right to his helmet, shuts off at 15 seconds in the play clock.
And you see him huddling there. I think you're going to see some more teams huddle this year, Matt, because of that rule in communication.
Bunch set, top of the screen. Cook, left, caught, and immediately brought down. That's a good open field tackle. Nate Noel, the running back, Kevon Reed on the tackle. Second-year offensive coordinator, Kirby Moore.
Yeah.
You got to love.
His brother, Kellen Moore, is a pretty good play caller. He's been calling plays for the Philadelphia Eagles this year.
It's just in
the
family.
Cowboys the last couple years. Dad was a coach. Looks like, see that they look to the sideline. See everybody checking right here. Them coming out, checking out of the blitz from a blitz look and empty.
3rd and 5, empty backfield. Cook, easy catch. Burden, touchdown. Get used to this call. Luther Burden, touchdown Missouri. Quick strike out of the Tigers. 6 plays, 42 yards in 2 minutes, 15 seconds.
exactly how you want to draw it up as a coaching staff right there. Clean execution. You were able to run the ball, throw the ball. Your star player gets the touchdown, making someone miss to get in the end zone.
Blake Craig on for the extra points. It was one mishap for Brady Cook. Incompletion to Brent Norfleet, but it was business as usual for this talented offense.
Well, and when you see what they've done right here is you're going to see 1, 2, and 3 receivers into the short side of the field over here. Well, that you're moving around Luther Burden, you're a great player. Soft coverage off the back end right now. And so as he releases, you see both DBs sink, able to get to the ball quick. And I'm telling you what, that's tough duty for anybody in college football to bring him down one-on-one in the open field. It's the formation and the boundary set it up, unsettled the defense, created the one-on-one matchup. And you're going to see Luther Burden move all over the field this year to create those matchups so that people can't take him away.
Week 0 for you in the telestrator there, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you dialed in.
We'll get there, my three.
We'll get you dialed in.
I was working
Listen,
with the 3.
you've got a stylus on you. You've got your finger. We'll decide which one's going to be better for you throughout the season. But number 3 is going to be good for Missouri throughout the year.
As Telestrator said, there's only one number 3 allowed on this board, and it wasn't going to be me writing right there.
Look at the zoo already going. J.K. Carter deep to receive the kick from Murray State. And that's where we bring out Jaden Johansson, an interesting story for Murray State and their quarterback. Once a North Dakota State commit, he was an all-conference player at South Dakota Mines. Comes in, 98 total touchdowns, one of 65 new players from Murray State.
Well, they talked about it. They went through it. They started spring ball. Coach Wright got them going really early just to see what anybody could do, who could run, who could catch, who could tackle, what their athletics look like. And then they put the offense in after they looked at the talent they had with this new group.
Jordan Washington, the running back, and he's got a crease up the middle. He's a true freshman, and with that carry, he's the first true freshman to start at running back for Murray State since DJ Pennick back in 2017, and a good gain for him on first down, gain of 7.
Absolutely, and he's a big back when you see him right there. I said he's explosive, not the tallest guy, but he is a big back at 215 as a freshman. Thick, hard to carry, hard to get down on the ground. That's what you want. Come out there. I like it. They're going to come out and try to challenge that Mizzou front with some young players.
Mizzou front lost a couple of players, 7 returning starters for the Tigers defensively. Hit the portal, brought in some meat. And that's some of it right there. Tackle for loss. That's Tristan Newsom, one of the leaders on the defense for no gain for new defensive coordinator Corey Batoon. He comes in. Blake Baker left for LSU. Batoon, the new defensive coordinator of this death row defense, and really one of the big reasons Missouri was able to catapult themselves to a big season a year ago.
You just see no hesitation right there from Newsom coming in, shooting the gap, saw the blocking scheme, and hit the gap.
Comes in from South Alabama, 3rd down. That was Washington. And Dan Mullen's favorite player on and off the field, Johnny Walker, on the tackle.
Yeah, Johnny Walker. He's Johnny Walker in black here tonight. You love it. What do you have as a first-time head coach?
Go for
you
it.
Onside kick, 4th and inches on your first offensive possession.
Trying to bang it up the middle. Death row says no. The Tigers make the stop. But you know, Coach Mullen, in our conversations with Eli Drinkwitz pregame, he's like, look, 65 new guys, new coach. We don't know what they're going to come with. Answer early, surprise onside kick, 4th and short. They're going to throw everything they have at Missouri tonight. Yeah,
why wouldn't you? You know what? You're a new coach, taking over a program, a lot of new players. You're saying we're not going to come in playing a top SEC team and back down. We're going to try to be aggressive, come after it, and see what we can do.
How about this field position again for Mizzou? Look right, play fake. Cook taking a shot to the end zone. Flag on the play. Kayvon Reed drew the Luther Burden assignment, and he's going to got for pass interference.
Pass interference, defense number 13. 15-yard previous spot, automatic first down.
You see Kayvon Reed's in good position right there. I don't see a whole lot there, Matt, but you just see that little hand get in there. He's running with him.
Hey, it's 15.
It's good to be at home.
It's 15 yards or 6 points.
Yeah, he was there with him. I like that. He's their top corner, so it looks like he's the guy that's going to draw the matchup tonight.
Nate Noel in the backfield. He's got quicks, breaks to the outside. There's Noel. And a gain of 5. Whereas last year, when you had the Cody Schrader story, what a great story he was, coming from really a walk-on and nothing to the all-SEC running back that he was, all-purpose yards. They feel that with both of these running backs that they can complement what Cody gave them with 2 players, and you're going to see a little bit of both of them tonight.
Absolutely, and that's a great selling point when you're going to recruit these guys. Look what we did last year.
Right up the middle again, and that's a good second effort. First down for Noel, Amari Wansley and Lovey Jenkins on the tackle, and now we're goal to go.
Yeah, and you see the confidence. Noel, during his career at App State, rushed for over 3,000 yards, so it wasn't like a one-hit wonder. A guy that had a lot of success running the football, coming in behind an O-line with 104 career starts.
Quick pitch to Noel, has some blockers. Nate Noel, touchdown. Missouri returned all 3 guys on the right side of their offensive line, and that was some Zoo beef leading the way for Noel.
Little toss sweep out there, getting everybody down. They block down, had the big guys pulling around in front of Noel. He breaks the tackle and walks right into the end zone.
2 touchdowns in 2 minutes and 53 seconds. And if you were looking for something to jumpstart your season, if you're the Missouri Tigers, you got one from Luther Burden. You got one from your new running back. You found yourself up early, 14-0. Dan Mullen, Matt Berry, Harry Lyles back with you. You know, Eli Drinkwitz, he challenged the fans, sell it out for the season opener, and they came tonight to Memorial Stadium. That Block M filled with students. They've been on campus now for a couple of weeks, and they are watching their team get up early, 14-0 over Murray State. J.K. Carter deep to receive the kick. And Coach, early on, execution has been key for this offense for Missouri.
Well, you're looking, your veteran players, when you have a veteran quarterback, right on great timing in open field. You don't want Luther Burden one-on-one open field. You have the veteran offensive line, like we said, so many returning starters back, top players. New running backs want to go run behind that line. Wasn't hard to recruit these guys in. Easy lane, rushing it into the end zone.
So now Murray State in a 14-0 hole. Let's go down to Harry. All right, we'll check in with Harry there in a minute. We saw Eli talk with the official. His offense certainly showing the part early. Joe Hansen picked off. Touchdown! Toriano Pride! The Michigan State transfer, Zion Young, provided the pressure. Pride was there for the pick 6, and that's the 3rd touchdown, Coach, in 3 minutes and 1 second.
That's how you want to start when you come out. You have high expectations. Want to start fast. They challenge the fans to get here. And these fans needed to get here early to make sure to get in their seats. They want to see the excitement.
Yeah, we drove through the tailgating area. You stayed out there too long. You missed some early fireworks. Coach, take a look now. It's a defensive line that takes a lot of pride in their pressure. They got it. That forced the turnover.
Well, and that's what it is. You look at right there. You look at Zion Young getting the pressure. You saw the ball a little high and floating to the outside. Well, a floating ball, not much juice on it, wide side of the field, easy interception. You saw Pride sitting on it right there, able to step in front of it, pick, and as soon as he gets that pick, throw a ball late to the flat, and that gets picked. That's an easy walk-in touchdown.
All right, so let's advance the story here because we have to with 9:41 left in the first quarter. You're up 21-0. You're down 21-0 if you Murray State. Both coaches have to coach now.
Yeah, you're very well. Both of them are at very different stages right now.
Right.
Missouri's talking about, hey, execution, playing to our standard, every snap, no matter who's in the game. They're also trying to create depth. You want to be a championship team. Couple things that go into it. You have to have talent. We know they do that. We'll talk about. They have a very favorable schedule this year, but you also have to have depth and stay healthy and have guys that are ready to play. So you're going to see, I think, a lot of guys start to roll in, and guys going to be held to the standard when they step on the field for the program. On the other side, Murray State right now, new program. They came out. They weren't going to back down. They started very aggressive. Coach Wright's got to just settle down. Hey, let's go play some ball. Let's go. We've worked. We've got a lot of new faces. We got a long season ahead of us. Let's just go execute, take it one play at a time, and build on things.
Let's check in with Harry.
Yeah, Matt, prior to that pick six, Jody Wright had come by and told his defense, hey, I put you guys in a couple of bad spots right there. That's for me.
What Harry was saying before his mic cut out, that Jody Wright, first-year head coach, tight end coach for Shane Beamer at South Carolina the last couple of years, put him in a couple of bad spots. That's on me. Settle down here. And they can get as much out of this game as Missouri can, although down 21-0, trying to establish the running game up front in one-yard game.
Yeah, and you're going to see, I don't think there's going to be a panic. They're not going to sit there and say, let's change what we do. We're going to come out, run our offense. We're going to try to execute and see what we can learn. And really evaluating. When you talk about 65 new players in a program, you're going to see what they can do in this game as you build it on for a very long season in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Jody Wright, really good story. We'll talk about his connection to you in just a bit, but he told us he's got to identify the winners and losers.
Yeah.
Because you've completely revamped the program, 2-9 a year ago, second year in the Missouri Valley Conference. Which, by the way, that is good football in the Missouri Valley Conference. 5 teams in the preseason top 10 is another good stop there by Sterling Webb in that defense.
Yeah, and when you talk about winners and losers in a program, what he's looking for, he's talked about, we want to love guys that compete, guys that love playing football. Well, you know what? No matter what the score is, every single snap, you have the opportunity to go play, you have the opportunity to go compete, and that's what they're looking for guys to do. And they get to deal with it in a tough environment here on third down as the student section gets it cranked up.
Third and 9. Keep it on the ground. How about that play call? And Kaiwan Morgan got the first down on 3rd and 9. That was Joseph Charleston on the tackle, but it's a gain of 10.
And if you look at, they're in a nickel or dime defense. So everybody wide ends, wide rush, only 2-3 down linemen in the game. Hand it off on a base inside zone. Let your running back go get the first down. They're expecting the pass, trying to give a blitz look, hit it right up the middle for a quick run, get the first down. Great job, settle your team down.
Offensive coordinator Jimmy Ogle, part of the new staff at Murray State, moved the chains for the Racers. 2 tight end set, play fake. Johansson gonna take a shot deep. 2 corners on it. Nearly picked off. Marvin Burks, one of the players on the coverage. J.K. Carter, the receiver, and everybody just got tripped up.
Yeah, you saw him. A little max protect, trying to take a shot down the field right now. His feet get tangled up right there.
Is it too early in the season for me to get to my dual numbers soapbox? It's too early.
Yeah.
It's first quarter.
Listen, if it's a single digit,
I'm not going to get into how there's 2 number ones.
There's 2 number single every digit on every team in the country.
Aware. 2nd and 10. Johansson over the middle. Good pitching catch there. That's Kylan Galbraith. Kind of a good story, Kylan Galbraith, former walk-on. 5'7", 171 pounds. offered him a half scholarship in spring ball. They're like, you know what? This kid worked his tail off. He's now on full scholarship. One of the great stories in college football.
They love the energy he brought every day. When you have all this new face that he came out, loves football, brought energy every single day. You see, he needs to get his foot in the ground, though, and get north and south against this team. You don't want to be running sideways against the Mizzou defense.
I'm also a sucker for those scholarship videos.
Back into you see the wide ends, the dime brush defense on 3rd and long.
Johansson, quick shot to the outside. Missouri's defense there. Great open field tackle on Morgan. That was Trevez Johnson. Gain of 2. 4th down this time, Jody Wright. He's not going to give Missouri a gift of field position again. And I don't fault him for doing it early. I don't.
Yeah, you're going to come into a game with a new program and say, we're going to be aggressive. You know, as a head coach, I think the first play I ever called as a head coach was a double reverse pass.
Really? How'd that go?
It was incomplete, but the crowd got all excited. Then at least we tried something. We were at home, though.
So Tom O'Hara to punt to Luther Burden. If Burden's just going to start adding to his Heisman reel early in the season. Off the side of O'Hara's foot, or maybe just didn't want to mess with Luther Burden. That's where I'm leaning on that one. You're going to try to keep it out of Three's hands as much as you can. We'll see if they do it on offense when we come back. Suey on a Thursday night. We're back here at the Zoo. By the way, this is the first offensive snap from this side of the field for the Tigers. They're going to have to earn it now from the 30-yard line. Noel still in the backfield. Cook looks left, rolls right, downfield, quick strike. Luther Burden, big play out of bounds. 1st down, gain of 19.
Really nice 3-level pass. They sent someone deep. See the running backs in the flat, and Luther Burden sits right in between both of them. There's a high read, a low read, and Luther Burden just right in the middle. Nice read by Brady Cook. Easy throw, 1st down.
I would list every preseason watch list award that Luther Burden's on. Just know that he's on all of them. If there's a preseason watch list, he's on it. Takes a shot. Oh, look! Incomplete. That's their fastest receiver, Marquise Johnson, who they believe, coming into his sophomore year, has a bright future here with this program. They've said he just has to mature a little bit. Both Theo Weiss and Luther Burden have taken him under their wing, and you can see how fast he is. As Slade, he was on the coverage.
Just a game of inches. They're going to be. I can tell you this, though. A guy like Brady Cook, he's going to throw that ball about 15 times in practice this week. When they get back on the practice field, he's going to want that throw over and over with them to get it down for the rest of the season.
He had worked on his deep ball throughout camp, thought he got much better at it. Plenty of time as he steps up into the pocket with pressure, and that's a good shot middle of the field. Mekhi Miller, 19 yards. The top 5 receivers for Mizzou are all back. That counts for 92% of the pass production a year ago for 3,138 yards. It's not just Burden and Weiss. They've got everyone, Coach.
And that's the comfort level when your quarterback's a multi-year starter with all of the receivers back. You're starting your practice at a very advanced point.
First series for Marcus Carroll, the Georgia State transfer running back, and he's alone. He is completely different than Nate Noel. Marcus Carroll's got trunks, and he's 21 yards later and a 1st down on his first carry.
Well, what's impressive, you see the line blocking. These backs aren't getting touched at the 2nd level, but each of them are breaking that first tackle on almost every carry.
Cook, Theo Weiss tries to make a man miss. Theo down to the 1. And a Murray State player is down. That is Lovey Jenkins, number 32, Florida A&M transfer.
little friendly fire coming there at him. And you go back, though, on that play and you look at the RPO, and those are decisions that your quarterback is comfortable with, where you have guys on the same page. You have an RPO. As soon as you see off coverage, you feel like, hey, we can go take this throw, and he went and took it.
Trainers are out there. Looks like he's getting up quick. Always a good sign for Lovey Jenkins. If you missed the open and you're just checking in for the first time, the Theo Weiss Jr. story is absolutely remarkable when you consider how he came out of high school as a 5-star recruit, goes to Oklahoma, played with CeeDee Lamb. Jalen Hurts was his quarterback. He needed a fresh start here. And not only has he gotten his fresh start, battled a hamstring a year ago, he's the guy, coach, that in a receiver room that's loaded decided, I'm going to be the leader of this unit. Whether I get the ball or not, we're going to be good. And that's as unselfish as it gets.
Well, and that's what makes him really special, isn't it? The character that he has, the unselfishness and the desire to be a leader. Not, hey, I'm a 5-star. I need my touches. I need the ball. He's a guy that came in with experience as a veteran player, said, I've been through a lot. I want to lead. And I know we have a great team. I'm going to get my touches, but I want to be the leader of this group.
Carroll still in the backfield. 2 tight end set. 1st and goal. Give it to Carroll. Walks in. Touchdown Tigers. So each of the new running backs that joined the team this year, Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll, have gotten in the end zone. Luther Burden's gotten in the end zone. 6 plays, 70 yards.
It's just too much up front. The size, the experience of this offensive line, running right behind Cameron Johnson. He was an all-AAC player when he was playing back at Houston. Connor Tollison is on the Remington list at center. Those guys up front create a bunch of holes for these backs. And I'm telling you what, if you're one of these young running backs, you are excited to run ball behind that group. Guys, they're very experienced guys, you know, having played at Georgia State and Appalachian State. And you look at the career they've had. When you go out there, though, and recruit, and you had Cody Schrader last year, had a huge year, and you look at these guys' career, you have a 3,000-yard rusher and a 2,000-yard rusher that you're getting out of the transfer portal to put behind an experienced offensive line. I don't think they're going to miss a beat in the running game this year, which says a lot off of one of the best backs from Cody Schrader in the country last year.
Marcus Carroll is the number 3 rusher in Georgia State history. 2nd in Georgia State history in touchdowns with 22. Also broke Harry Lyle's heart, a Georgia State alum, that they went in and grabbed one of their best players for Georgia State, but at least he gets to see him here in person tonight in Columbia. And the opening night of college football around the country. 2 backs from Murray State, Kadarius Jennings and Morgan. The give to, that was Jennings, a gain of 1. Joe Moore, transfer from Arizona State, there for the tackle.
Kind of the situation you want. When you're Missouri, you come in, I don't think this game could have started any better for them right now. With the opportunity, you get an early lead, comfortable. Your guys are executing on both sides of the ball. You're going to roll in a lot of guys that worked hard in training camp to get reps. And you're on that sideline telling them, hey, you are playing for reps. And not always who's going to start or not.
Sure.
How many reps you're going to get in a game. You're competing for those reps every time you're on the field.
Galbraith motions into the backfield. They're going to run a reverse here to the end around. That's J.K. Carter trying to make some space. Missouri's defense, death row there. Dalen Carnell, -2.
Looked like they had something, but the speed of Carnell to run this down. Watch, everybody kind of looks like they have something at first. Watch the speed running the ball. And Carnell, great job. You see him that stutter step, working that drill right there, keeping that ball on that inside shoulder, not overrunning it and getting back in a cut back and making the tackle.
So 3rd and 11. Can Murray State find something? Johansson, pressured. Good job coming out of the pocket but there's just too much speed. Khalil Jacobs, the transfer from South Alabama, who came over with his defensive coordinator, Corey Batoon, knows the system. -1, another punt for the Racers.
Yeah, he had 60 tackles last year for South Alabama, and it's great when you come in with your coordinator. He knows what you can do. You know the system. Easy transition on the field. And you saw the speed he had to go run down Johansson and force the punt.
Does O'Hara punt it to Luther Burden III? The answer to that is no. Well, and it almost hit one of the Missouri guys running down the field as you hear him yelling, Peter, which is the universal sign for get the hell out of the way. It'll be Missouri's ball. And what a college football week 1 lineup for you here Saturday. SEC Network start at 12:45 a.m. Eastern. Number 15 Tennessee hosting Chattanooga, then South Carolina hosting ODU. Capping off the night, Kentucky, another good ball club against Southern Miss, Mississippi State, Eastern Kentucky, Ole Miss Furman, Auburn, Alabama, SEC Network Plus. All of this on Saturday, so you can watch anywhere. Brady Cook still in. Brady Cook still going to take shots downfield and missed Burden for a big one. And you can tell Brady Cook is not happy with himself.
Yeah, he's worked on the deep ball this offseason right now. Want to be better at it. You can see his frustration. He expects perfection out of it right now. And they're trying to set it up. You see a little switch route right there to get Burden open on the post. It's like Christmas weekend, though, this, if you're an SEC fan. Everybody around the SEC, right? They're opening gifts, seeing what they have, what this year's team looks like, opening their present to see their first look.
Yeah, I don't know how to break it to you. Missouri's well aware of what's under their tree. They've got the Red Ryder BB gun and Luther Burden. It's Marcus Carroll.
It's like opening that one present maybe before the season starts, that opening weekend.
The Christmas Eve present?
It is like the Christmas Eve present on some of these games. Let's just see. We got some new faces. What are we going to look like? How's everybody executing?
Drinky Claus did a really good job of stocking his stuffing because they're stocking his stockings because they've got a lot as well. Jamal Roberts, first appearance for him. But we mentioned Brady Cook, so upset because they told us he worked on the deep ball and he's missed 2. You know he wants him back. That one more routine and a zip over the middle of the field. First time we're calling Josh Manning's name. They said he had a great camp and he was going to earn some time tonight and a gain of 16.
And you look at the confidence that Brady has of just stepping in the pocket, letting that rip right in the middle of the zone, settling down in front of the safeties, behind the backers after missing the earlier throw. The confidence he has to come make that throw. They're going to take a couple of more shots as this continues to go to give him that confidence to build, throwing that ball down the field.
What a quarter for Mizzou to start the season. 28-0 here in Columbia.
And that's on me. We got to get off the field right there, inches away from getting a pressure on the quarterback there and inches from getting the ball down. But offensively, we had a couple miscommunications. The guy was supposed to crack, but it's like I'm telling the guys, just keep fighting, keep playing. You know, hopefully, first quarter, hopefully got all our bad football out for the whole season in that first quarter. So we're ready to second quarter and continue to fight.
We appreciate it, Coach.
Thank y'all so much.
And already a big play to start the second quarter for the Tigers. Marcus Carroll, gain of 12 in that first quarter. Missouri, 28 points. Murray State, 19 yards.
Yeah. Kind of what you expect. Murray State with a new coach, new program, 65 new players. They're an FCS school coming in to play a team that's got, we've talked about the chip on the shoulder they had last year. Now that they were kind of a surprise team, now they have to live up to the hype this year. They want to show that they can do it.
And what do you call this? You're the offensive guy.
A little Emery and Henry, a little Coach Spurrier type play here.
Love it.
Oh, no.
Burden, ball on the turf. And that's a mistake from Missouri. Murray State on the turnover. And that's the kind of thing that'll drive a head coach nuts. You call a special ball play and your star mishandles it. Kevon Hagler there, the recovery.
Yeah, and they're trying to do it to put it on film for people to prepare for. Hey, you better get ready. There's people running all over the field. I'm not sure if Luther was going to
get the snap,
or he was going to be a throw, and he kind of took his eyes off it. And it kind of, the ball, is it a pass or a handoff?
Well, if you've already stated it's a handoff, if you're Missouri,
it was a pass. You know, and people wonder, hey, we're up. Why are we doing that? Hey, you're putting it on film. Make people have to think and do different things, and you've practiced it. Guys love to run trick plays, and you want to get them called so they have some good times while they're playing. You want to execute them, though.
Only 9 turnovers a year ago for Missouri. Johansson in the offense back on the field. That's the true freshman Jordan Washington. Took a hit. Check that. Jawan Norrington. Paid for it. Gain of 5. It's Marvin Burks Jr. Player they believe has had tremendous growth. But now Eli Drinkwitz has a coaching moment now. And sometimes that's hard to do up 28-0.
Yeah, you're constantly, and everybody's working on that. You're seeing both teams really working different things right here. You saw Murray State right there. They huddled some. They've gone up-tempo. They've gone look to the sideline. Both teams are working to get the kinks out at this point for the season.
And I talked about the connection you had with Jody Wright. Why don't you tell people the story of you and Jody Wright and your connection to a first-time head coach?
Well, you see him right there on Mississippi State staff. He was the grad assistant. When I got hired, he was on the staff. My first day on the job, first-time head coach. Everything's coming at you. And I don't know, he drew short straw, nervous to walk in the office. He came in and said, hey, coach, here's a file of every kid on our recruiting board that we've recruited.
Oh, and a botch snap on 3rd and 1. Johansson there to cover it.
That'll drive you nuts as a first-year coach.
And Jody's going to send out the punt team.
But you know what? You see as a young coach right there, and he's going to have a lot of success because you saw it. He had notes on every player on the team, every player they were recruiting. He had notebooks for me, walked in the office. I looked at him, I said, hey, you're so organized. You're now our full-time director of football operations. You've been promoted from a grad assistant to that. And he's worked at a lot of great places. He's worked at Alabama, worked for the Giants, worked for Shane Beamer at South Carolina, Nick Saban. And you see the energy he has, and he's going to have a successful career as a head football coach.
Luther Burden. Let it go over his head wisely, and it's going to be a touchback. So 59-yard punt, 39 net, Missouri ball. You hear what a beautiful night in Columbia, Missouri. Look at this offensive output. That is the definition of balance. 20 plays, 50-50, both sides, 190 yards.
And it's what you want, with the exception of the trick play and the turnover. You know, if you're Eli Drinkwitz and this staff, this is exactly when you see the execution and the balance you want to see out of your team in this opening game.
Nate Noel lined up in the backfield. A turnover on the last possession for Missouri. Brady Cook comes back to his right, throws it across. And they're going to rule it incomplete. Intended for Mookie Cooper. Kayvon Reed's been busy tonight and hit the turf.
Yeah, and he was right with him the whole time. Tight coverage, not much of a window. You see the ball hitting the turf right there. Real close. Great job trying to scoop it up.
Do you like that Cook's making those throws and not pulling it down?
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's the thing is, we know he's a pretty good athlete, but he is a quarterback. The athleticism is deceiving. He is a passer first with deceiving athleticism.
That's Carroll, who's got a touchdown tonight. What a cut, flag on the play. Right now, a gain of 15. Just our second penalty tonight. We had one on the surprise onside kick to start the game.
Holding on the offense, 70. Yard penalty, lot of the foul. Repeat, second down.
It's the Oklahoma transfer, Caden Green. He came out of high school. He's the #2 rated offensive tackle prospects. Take a look at him here down low.
Yeah, he's just got a little pull. He had the hands in tight, which you're coaching. Get those hands in tight and grab. And I think when he spun, they saw that pull, the jersey.
Colby Haddix So now if you're Missouri, you have a turnover in your last possession and to gain a 15-yard run with a holding penalty. Up 28-0. As Cook looks right, throws right, immediately caught. Theo Weiss Jr. Nice gain after the catch, and a gain of 9, Jason Coley.
And these are coaching moments, as we talk about.
Right.
Both coaches are going to be really coaching every situation in this game and what's going on. And you know what, though, is what Coach Drink's going to sit here and say, hey, you know what, now we had a second along. We have some different things. We're going to be able to teach a lot of different situations. It's not just, you know, all strawberries and cream. We're just going to score every time we touch the ball.
Because it was easy.
It was just too easy.
They scored 3 in 3 minutes.
And they want to have those challenges and have to coach these situations that are going to prepare them for the rest of the year.
Get a chance to look at their depth. Now 3rd and 7. Cook across the field too high. Misses Weiss. And that'll be a punt for Missouri, their first one of the night. Larry Preston there on the coverage. Luke Bauer to punt for Missouri. Kayvon Reed deep to receive the Bauer punt. Play clock.
Play of game, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So now you've got a turnover, a holding, a punt, and a delay of game.
Yeah.
Now you got
it's you know, the blood pressure starts to rise a little bit as a coach right now. You know.
I love it because your blood's boiling up here watching it.
Yeah.
Punt away to Reed. He's got a fair catch at his 30. Safely does after a punt of 52. So the Missouri offense stopped. Still up 28-0 here in the second. Over Murray State, Dan Mullen, Matt Berry back with you. We just saw the punt from Luke Bauer. And he's been dealing with a lot off the field, so it is good to see him smile. For more, down to Harry.
Yeah, Matt, the Missouri family has put their hands on their hearts for Luke Bauer. His father actually had kidney cancer and battled for a couple of years and unfortunately passed away in mid-July. So you've seen this community really rally around him as of late.
Yeah, he was a young guy that grew up with Missouri blood his whole life. Loved the program from St. Louis. He had one of the most memorable plays last year for Missouri. They were down to Kentucky, and on a fake punt, he threw a long touchdown pass that kind of turned that game around and really catapulted them through the rest of the season onto that memorable end of the year.
It's Joe Hansen keeping it as Jeff Bauer. Our thoughts and prayers are with his son Luke as we lost Jeff. And that's a great example. And you know this better than anyone, being in a locker room, what a locker room being around your brothers can do for you when you're dealing with a family tragedy. And to see his teammates come around him, to see him smiling, knowing what he's been through this summer, it's what makes football, locker room, and sports so great.
It is this special. You can't explain. I mean, you've played, people that play, the football locker room is such a sacred family place, and the connections and the brotherhood you have to that family. There's not much like it.
So 2nd and 7 now, Murray State. They forced a punt, tried to do something a bit offensively. That ball falls incomplete. Waved immediately. Elijah Downing couldn't come up with it. And now 3rd down.
Some of these little coachable moments. That's what's going to. And you know what? Knowing Jody Wright, he's excited. He's fired up. He's going to show the little things. Hey guys, let's not look. We know Missouri's a great team. They're the number 11 ranked team in the country. But let's look at the little things, how we get better as a team, the little mistakes we made. That's going to be the big focus that he's going to continue to talk to this team about.
It's a foundation builder for a new coach and a 65 new players as Joe Hansen on 3rd down is going to keep it. And he's only going to grab 1. And then conversely, because having a successful head coach in the booth with me every week, you get into the psyche of what you guys deal with, because on one side you got Jody Wright trying to build something. On the other side you got Eli Drinkwitz, who comes in, like you said, who I believe is a top 10 team and on their way to a college football playoff berth because of the talent and the schedule. But now you're going to start nitpicking, because since 28-0, it's gotten a little bit sloppy if you're Missouri, and he's got to keep his guys in a game that we know they're going to win.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can act, you're going to coach so many different little things about when things are right and when things aren't right, and how to deal with adversities and how you have to overcome them.
So Luther Burden did get the punt. Fair caught it at the 30. What a big weekend at SEC Network. Marty and McGee and SEC Nation are back for another football season. They've got game previews, the latest from around the conference. 3 hours of fun throughout the day. Saturday, the shows come to you from Gainesville. Started at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central. The college football season is going to be unforgettable on the SEC Network as you covered throughout the day the expansion of Texas and Oklahoma. 2 more historic programs joining a historic conference in a new era in college football. That is Nate Noel on the handoff. Good job squeaking his way for a gain of 3.
Think it'll be hot down there in Gainesville in the swamp this Saturday for that 3:30 kick, Miami, Florida.
That's going to be a fun game to watch. That, by the way, on ABC. Here comes tempo. 2nd and 7. Cook looks left, dumps it to Noel. He's good out of the backfield. You see the quicks he has. He put on about 15, 20 pounds in the offseason, stands at 5'8". He's from Miami, transferred in from App State. I think he's going to be the perfect back for this offense. Now 3rd and short, and again tempo. And again Noel. We missed the Noel pun on our Christmas discussion.
Yeah, we
do gifts. That's an early season dollar for us. Kennard Flowers on the tack on a first down Missouri.
And you go tempo like that, unbalanced into the boundary with tempo to try to not let the defense get lined up or create, and then run a quick, easy inside zone play to try to get that 1 yard.
Cook, quick out, incomplete. Intended for Marquise Johnson. The youngster hasn't been able to connect on 2 passes from Cook. And Kayvon Reed, again, we've called his name a lot tonight. That should have been caught.
Yeah, but Kayvon Reed's held his own out there against these guys. Then you wonder and say, okay, Mizzou, why are they tempoing right here? Well, the last couple possessions a little sloppy on the sidelines. You're going to say, hey, we're going to change the tempo of the game right now to try to change our mindset and clean things up. This series, we're going to go fast the whole series.
2nd and 10. Quick shot outside. That is good defense by the Racers. That's Reed again on Josh Manning, who got the ball immediately. And Kayvon's a long corner, Senior Bowl watch list. They said, look, come play here because you're get an opportunity right away to see if you're NFL worthy against some of the best receivers in the country.
Absolutely. And for a guy like him coming home, he's from East St. Louis, Missouri here, to come back, play in his home state. You want to come out, you want to show that you can hang with some of the best receivers in the country. This is your opportunity to do it.
So 3rd and 12. Play clock down at 7. Cook to the outside, and he just misses. Misses Theo Weiss Jr. 2 possessions in a row. This offense that was humming early is just kind of...
You just feel the energy, and that's one of the things early in the season that the coaches are going to talk about. Energy's, hey, we're up. Everything's going our way. The crowd's excited. We're just clicking. You kind of take things for granted and say, hey, we're just going to cakewalk through the game. And you got to bring that intensity for 4 quarters, no matter who you're playing.
So Reed, who's had a busy night, back to receive the punt. That's a good bounce to the 10-yard line. So a little bit of everything for the Tigers tonight, and just a stunning evening here in Como right now. It still regionally makes sense.
Yeah, they're not ruining geography and education for young kids around the country.
It's Kaiwan Morgan for 2. And you take a look at the new scheduling format. You got the 8 conference games plus the one opponent from a Power 4 major independent. The division's eliminated. That's new. There used to be SEC East and West. That's a big thing. Top 2 teams by winning percentage go to the championship game in every school to play all other school at least 2 times over the next 4 seasons.
Well, that was one as a coach in that league. That used to be, you'd look at times and there's teams you never play. There's guys that, I remember, I think 9 years at Mississippi State, we played Tennessee 1 time. And I think it's great in this league. There's so many great environments in the Southeastern Conference, so many stadiums. You come, guys from all over the country. Everyone wants to play in the SEC, to play in these stadiums and these environments. And now they're going to give them the opportunity to do that over a 4-year period. You get to play every team twice. I think that's a great thing they've moved forward with in scheduling.
Where do you stand on the number of conference games? You want it at 9?
Well, you got to balance it. The problem with 9, and there's nowhere in the country where home field advantage matters more than the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
So if you go 9, that's 5 and 4, and every year teams are going to have kind of an unfair advantage unless some of the teams, play neutral site games, unless you can find a way to have a neutral site game built in as the 9th game for everybody. But if not, it can really tip the scales in this league more than anywhere else.
3rd and 4. Johansson, quick shot out of the backfield. Big hit. Still going to be enough for a first down for the Racers, and they're continuing to execute. Morgan on the reception, Burks Jr. on the big hit. Just the 2nd first down of the night.
Love that. Hey, this first game, they've been hitting each other all spring. Yeah. You hit each other all summer. You just can't wait to hit somebody else. And you hearing those pads popping down there on the field. They're excited. There's somebody a little bit different to go hit, and there's some contact down there on this field.
And I'll tell you this about this Missouri defense under new coordinator Corey Batoon, this death row defense. Right now, they still have their shutout intact. That's something they're going to play for the entirety of the 4 quarters, regardless of who's in. But a first down for Murray State. Morgan tackled by Johnny Walker Jr. He was the defensive MVP against Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl. One of the returning starters here, one of the returning players. They lose a Darius Robinson, just an absolute man-child on the defensive line. But they feel they did enough complimenting the guys that returned to still be stout up front.
Well, you talk about, you have to have depth to be a really good team, and they do. So guys have played. They had 5 guys off that defense get drafted last year. You look at some of the guys. Tyron Hopper, you said Darius Robinson, first rounder, some really great players that are now gone. But you know what? There's guys that have played a lot of football still out here getting the opportunity to shine.
Good job here by Johansson finding his rhythm a little bit. That was caught by Josh Crabtree. He transferred in, started his career at NC State. They're going to mark him just short of the first down now, 3rd and short.
Let's see. You see, Coach Wright and the offense are looking. They're run this huddle. Maybe let the clock run down. See if they sprint up to the ball and try to snap it quick before the Mizzou defense can adjust to whatever their formation is.
Pitch outside. How about that speed? Led by Corey Flagg, transferred in from Miami, and that's just a difference in athlete between Missouri and Murray State.
Yeah, you're looking at Corey Flagg last year, or in his career. You'll see him right here at his career in Miami. He had 24 and a half tackles for loss. And you see why. The speed, they're trying to run a pin and pull, and he just undercuts it, chases down for another tackle for loss. Great play, great speed, and getting off the field defensively.
See if we can get Luther loose here on a punt. O'Hara. He's caught one punt, Fair caught it. Didn't get to that one. That's going to be down around the 30. Coming up at halftime, you can watch the live performance of Marching Mizzou. See him there coming down the staircase on SEC Network Plus. Start streaming now on the ESPN app. Mullins usually the first in the food line at halftime, but they've been teasing us with this drone show at the half.
I'm excited for that.
In addition to Missouri's Marching Mizzou, I want to see what this drone show's all about. We'll have to Let's see if we can Uber Eats something here to the booth. 3:03 left in the first half. Let's see if Missouri can get out of this recent little funk. Norfleet there on first down. Down to Harry.
Yeah, Matt, you know, Coach Mullen, you had mentioned that the energy had gotten a little bit flat with this offense. When Brady Cook had come back to the sideline after that last possession, he was clearly frustrated with how they were playing. So I think we'll see them come out with a little bit more energy on this possession here.
Yeah, because now, Coach, you're in a 2-minute situation. All 3 timeouts left. Another coachable moment, even though you're up 28-0.
Yeah, and you're going to see right now that you're just under 3 minutes. You're getting close. You're going to try to execute an end-of-half situation. And the coaches talk about it. We have this opportunity. Get the first down, and then we're probably going to get into more of a 2-minute mode after you get the first down. Talking about it, we want to get points. Make sure we get the field goal. We'd like to get a touchdown. Let's make sure we get a field goal and execute a 2-minute end-of-half situation
that was
on this drive.
Marcus Carroll there, 3rd and 1. And don't forget, we have the 2-minute timeout this year in college football. It is another one of the new rules. And they didn't get the playoff in time. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way, it's new. It's an addition to the sport.
Watching, it's all Arkansas right now in Little Rock. Their fast start will show it to you. Also, these guys predict some SEC preseason awards. And we'll talk about Oklahoma's SEC debut on Friday. Got anything here?
Let's get the offense going again here. Stalled in a second. Hey, man. They did a pretty good job, I thought.
See you guys.
Darian Crew, thank you. Yeah, they have stalled. It was 20. It was 28.
It happened fast. They want to make sure you get in the stadium early right now.
But 3 timeouts left coming out of the new 2-minute timeout. Full complement. See what they can come up with here before the half. Going to hand it off there on 3rd and short to get the first down. So now, as you said, now they can get into a little bit of a 2-minute offense. As moments ago, Brett Norfleet, the star tight end from Missouri, his left shoulder, he was taken to the training room just before half. We'll have Harry update you on him there in the 3rd quarter. And there's a catch by Carroll. And here comes the tempo and a gain of 8.
You saw you're going to get the first down they do with, and right out coming out of the 2-minute timeout. Now you're going to go run the 2-minute offense, and you've practiced it all during the spring. You practice it in the summer, but to get to do it here in the stadium in a live situation, it's a little bit different. So I know Coach is excited to have this opportunity to get these reps in.
Carroll remains in the backfield. Cook keeps his eyes downfield. Good job avoiding the pressure. That was good quarterbacking there by Brady Cook. Rolled against his body. And that was Noel who went with him, gain of 3, first down.
And you see the athleticism he does of right here, being able to hang the pocket, collapse, getting out, but going against his body, still being able to turn the shoulders, make an accurate throw. You know, Noel came in 50 career catches. He can really catch the ball coming out of the backfield.
Quick shot, Theo Weiss. Check that, Luther Burden, the 3rd. And there's Burden. He's been quiet after the touchdown tonight as Luther, but that's an exciting 5-yard play.
Or you hear the crowd, like everybody hold their breath waiting for something special to happen. Every time he touches the ball, you think something really special could happen right here. Quickness, change of direction, the size.
By most accounts, the top player at his position coming into the draft is Noel, again out of the backfield.
You saw him right there get out of bounds. You're always talking, that's another teachable moment right here, where you want to get out of bounds and stop the clock in a 2-minute situation, but also be aware of where you are, where he steps out 1 yard short of the first down. All of these as a coach, you're making notes. There's so many things that are going to come back in key moments later in the year you want to teach off of this game.
And again, the clock stops out of bounds after the 2-minute timeout. 3rd and short. Good stutter step. Murray State had a player in the backfield immediately. Noel read it, got the yards. Camden and Wansley on the tackle. 3 timeouts left. And a first down.
And you just see, this is where Brady Cook shows his experience. Just relax, get everybody lined up. We have plenty of time and plenty of timeouts.
Cook is going to take a shot. Incomplete. Again, he and Marquise Johnson cannot connect. They've tried to get the youngster involved.
And that's Kayvon Reed on the coverage again. They've come after him all night long. They want to try to pick somebody else. He's had a heck of a night going and showing that he can play with some of these top receivers in the country.
54 seconds left. I'm going to do some recon on what cameras we have rolling in the booth for what just happened up here. More on that later. 2nd and 10 for Missouri. Cook, there's the athleticism, stepped up in the pocket and wisely slides down. Great recognition of the pressure. He's able to move the chains for 18 yards.
And you see, he is a big guy, almost that Josh Allen, this big guy. He has speed, quickness, and athleticism. You saw right there, not just the lane, but the speed, the acceleration he has to make an explosive play. You got somebody down on the field down here.
That's Kayvon Reed
that's down. They don't want to lose him. He's been their best defensive player tonight. We almost had Mack go down a second ago.
Myself and Dave Salati almost went down, spotted to the stars. Let me just tell you.
I don't know what that was.
That we're hoping maybe that's a cramp because it's hot and humid. I just got to tell you something. There was a bug.
Looked like the drone from the halftime show.
That was the size of a cell phone that just flew into the booth, right into Salati's mouth. Bounced off his mouth into me. As you see Kayvon there getting stretched, so it's almost certainly a cramp in this hot weather. I about needed a diaper when I saw that thing fly in here. My goodness.
Let's see it with Kayvon out. Let's see if they take a shot up top.
Whistles before the snap, 11th play of the drive. All things considered, first game pretty clean from the penalty department, first half.
Yeah, it is. And you want to see the opening kick. Obviously, there was the penalty.
False start. Offense number 74. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
You don't want that there.
Missouri's called timeout to avoid a 10-second subtraction.
All right, so one of 3 timeouts from Missouri. And a penalty there and a false start. But Eli's got 3. He's going to use one to avoid the 10-second runoff. 34 seconds left here in the first half. We welcome you back into the booth. We don't think any prehistoric Jurassic Park style bugs will fly in during this hit. Dan Mullen, Matt Berry. First half thoughts, what you've seen out of the 11th ranked Tigers so far.
Well, you saw the type of team they can be, how they came out of the gates. And you see the explosiveness they have at the receiver position, the veteran quarterback play and execution. But really, to me, what's been impressive and what's going to make them dangerous, you wanted to see, are how are those 2 new running backs going to do. The offensive line, we know, is experienced and physical. They've had their way early in the first quarter. I'm impressed also with some of the speed that we've seen from their defense and play. I think the coaches are going to have a lot to coach off of, though, as the momentum kind of stalled late in the first quarter and into this second quarter. They want to clean this up with a drive that finishes with a touchdown right here.
And really a best case scenario too, and a physical run there and a gain of 5. They'll use that second timeout. That was Noel. Yeah, you hit on a couple of things there that if you're Missouri,
Timeout. Missouri, second timeout of the half.
You're loving 2 things.
This will be a 30-second timeout.
You're loving that you had to know who was coming in to replace Cody Schrader. We touched about that at the top of the broadcast, that combined with Noel and Carroll, they feel that they have just as good a backfield in terms of what they can put out there in front of a very offensive line, a very veteran offensive line. And number 2, you know as well as anybody's a head coach, these quick blowouts, these are teenagers and young men in college. They can lose their attention span pretty quickly. So now Missouri's got a comfortable lead. They've learned some things, and Eli Drinkwitz can still coach because they've made enough mistakes to do it.
Absolutely, and they want to coach off of it. But it's shown to me that they are a dangerous team. They have the recipe to compete for a championship in the Southeastern Conference this year.
So 1 timeout remains, 2nd and 10. So now it's all Cook as the headset communication's been turned off. New in college football this year. Cook to the right. That's Theo Weiss. Weiss got that long body. Flag on the play. Back where Brady Cook was standing.
Personal foul, passer, defense number 6. The penalty will be enforced into the run, includes an automatic first down.
That was Hagler.
That's going to be frustrating. They had forced a third down. They're going to force them into a third down. And just a silly, silly penalty right there. It wasn't a violent hit, but I mean, the ball was long gone at that point.
And at 28-0, give Murray State credit. They've kept their cool this entire first half and have kept fighting, but you don't need that there with 15 seconds and counting. Clock's running. Cook, quick shot to the outside, incomplete. Overthrows Weiss. That was a bit.
That was the first mistake you've seen Brady Cook make to me in the first half. He was not aware the clock was running. When he did, all of a sudden, looked up, snapped it, and really almost just threw the ball away right there to make sure they get the play they need and the call they need to execute here, because they want to get there. This is a tough one right now.
Now,
you're executing this moment. You're going for the score.
He's going to use that
He's
final
going to tell the timeout to talk about it.
Yeah, do you go for the touchdown? You don't have enough time for both. It's got to be quick.
Well, what you're going to do here, that's your final timeout. So you have time to throw a quick ball. And so what you're going to see, I think, here, maybe an overload, a quick sprint out and a throw, or trying to isolate a single receiver, take a one-on-one shot, maybe to a Luther Burden on a slant fade, try to put all the receivers to one side, single him up on the other. But when you have a veteran quarterback, I actually want to talk about it. When you have Brady Cook right now, he's going to know that is a catch and throw.
That's it.
And we have to have the opportunity to potentially kick and get the field goal here and come away with points on this drive at the end of the first half.
Again, coachable moment in a game where the outcome is not going to be in danger. This is perfect.
But you know what? They're going to have the opportunity to possibly have this situation in an SEC game down the road, and they want to know they have experience in handling this.
So we'll see what they come up with here. There we go. They wanted Murray State.
They wanted to see the formation.
Yep. First timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
The fans, the zoo wants to see the drone show.
Yeah.
Like I want a touchdown, I want a drone show, I want a week 1 of college football lineup Saturday on SEC Network. Games start 12:45 Eastern this year.
We'll be watching.
We will, in studio all day. Me, Dan Mullen, Joey Galloway, but this is about the games on the SEC Network. Tennessee hosting Chattanooga. Shane Beamer, South Carolina's hosting ODU. The cap tonight with Kentucky hosting Southern Miss. Got a great lineup on ESPN Plus as well. Mississippi State, Jeff Lebby era is underway. Ole Miss, another playoff team, comes in ranked 6th. And Auburn, year 2 under Hugh Freeze. What a great Saturday of college football coming up on SEC Network and SEC Network Plus. All right, second and goal here.
So you see where the ball is with one play. This is going to be probably their 2-point play that they have in the bag, a 2-point play, because it's right on that marker.
Burden in the backfield. Cook, the fake to Burden. Brady Cook, touchdown. He doesn't get in, that's the end of the half.
That's a gutsy call right there with no timeouts to run the ball in that situation. Well, like you said, I mean, you've talked about it. It's going to be, hey, this is a 2-point play we love. We're going to go with it. We're going to run it. And that's going to be the result. And we're going to live with the result at the end of the half.
So 14 plays, 68 yards, executed 3 minutes and 2 seconds. And there's a look at the ball play again.
Well, great blocking up front. Anytime you're going to fake the ball to Luther Burden, he's going to draw a bunch of eyes into the backfield. Great blocking. You see the tight end pull and insert there on the front side. Brady Cook follow him, getting into the end zone right there. big score, you know, for the second quarter, really getting flat to finish it with a 2-minute drive and to come out on top to get that final score right before halftime is huge for the Missouri Tigers.
It's the largest halftime lead since 2021. They were up 38-0 against SEMO, Southeast Missouri State. But you're right, this game got out to a rousing, entertaining start. And then the offense kind of got stuck in the mud. Nothing really happened. So to be able to execute your 3- and 2-minute offense, come away with a touchdown going into the half now up 35-0, that's good momentum for Missouri. All right, so J.K. Carter. So we'll get one more play. Clock's not going to run there.
And I think Jody Wright, they might just sit on the ball right here, but I think there's a lot they can build on in that second quarter. Is, you know, they came out really aggressive, didn't work, gave some short fields to Missouri. They were able to take a big early lead. But you know what? When he talked about, Jody Wright talked about Murray State, what he wants to build with this program is a team that's going to compete. Falling down 28-0 really quick on the road, first game, new coach, 65 new players. They came out and battled back for a while there in the second quarter. And, you know, there's stuff they can learn from off of that quarter.
They get the ball to start the second half, but as expected, the 11th ranked Missouri Tigers and that high-flying offense got out to an early lead. Luther Burden, as advertised, scored a touchdown. The new running backs did so as well. It is 35-0 Missouri here at home. Time now for the halftime report. Dari Noka and the fellas back in our studios in Charlotte. Living up to that ranking and now lead 35-0 at the half.
Yeah, the perfect start for them right now. Couple mistakes maybe early from Murray State. What was they do? The quarterback able to get done at the end of the first half in the 2-minute drill, give them the 35-0 lead. Not the cleanest of all times, first half, but I tell you what, the Mizzou coaching staff has to be happy with their execution and what they were able to get done and where the game's at this point going into the third quarter.
So Murray State will get the ball, and Missouri will open up with a penalty as the ball gets kicked out of bounds. Certainly not how Eli Drinkwitz wanted to get this
right
started.
Right on cue with the cleanness and
there you go. So let's check in with Harry Lyles.
Yeah, guys, got a quick injury update for you. Brett Norfleet, you saw him go into the tunnel right before half. He has an upper body injury. He is officially unlikely to return to this game.
Harry, thank you. That's one of the big things in a game like this. If you're really either team, Murray State's in one of the toughest conferences in FCS, in the Missouri Valley Conference. They want to get out of here healthy. Missouri wants to get out of here healthy. Outcome not in question. Getting out of here healthy and getting some depth questions answered are.
And you'll see. I think you're going to see a lot more. That score before half going to allow maybe a little bit more liberal substitution by Missouri here in the third quarter.
Look, they're in preseason football and college football. We know that. So if you're Eli Drinkwitz, maybe run out the starters first couple of series and then start learning who you have, because in college football, especially with an SEC schedule, depth is paramount to have a good year.
Absolutely, but they say you're not going to get banged up throughout the year. You're going to get banged up all year long, so you need a bunch of guys. Are you trying to find 30 guys that you feel comfortable with putting on the field on defense? If you have that many, you're going to feel pretty good about the season.
And conversely, if you're Murray State, 65 new players, you want to learn who you have. Their head coach, Jody Wright, told us he wants to know who the winners and losers are. Jordan Washington, true freshman. Chris McClellan on the tackle, and that brings up a quick third down.
Big Chris McClellan added from Florida. Top recruit coming out of high school. He's a big addition, the size to that defensive front.
So on the ground, Murray State stays with Washington. I'll be interested to see how Ogle and Jody Wright, they decide to go with this in the second half from a play calling perspective.
Yeah, they're coming in. They're not going to wide open or panic, say we got to go try to score and come back. They're going to execute their offense. When he said he wants to find out who the winners or losers are, who can compete, when you're a first-year head coach, first time in the program, and you have 65 new guys, you're going to try to pick some different situation, call some plays, see what some guys can do, give them some teachable moments, and get ready to compete in the toughest conference in FCS.
That's Daniel Blood back to receive punts. We saw Luther Burden do it the entire first half, and that is a good punt by O'Hara. He checked that thing inside the 3-yard line. A punt of 58. So we'll see how Missouri attacks their offensive possession when you look at what Missouri was able to do first quarter, second quarter. And it came out of the gates, and they were as fluid as you would expect out of them. And then we said they kind of got stuck in the mud a little bit. They had to have that 2-minute offense to really get back in it before the half to make it 35-0.
Well, it was the turnover on a kind of a trick play, the couple of penalties, little hiccups they want to get cleaned up. And you talk about situational football. This is one you practice. Back to the wall. We'll see how they handle it right now. If you're Coach Strink, you're coming out and saying, hey, we got a 2-minute situation. Now we got a back-to-the-wall situation. We're kind of checking all the different situations for us to learn from for the season.
That's Noel in the backfield. Brady Cook does start the third quarter. That's a quick shot outside, executed well. That's Josh Manning for a gain of 7. Larry Preston forcing him out.
You look at the first quarter and second quarter, just not as efficient. I know they took some shots down the field. I know if Brady Cook's going to want to get another deep shot down the field. He just missed a couple of deep opportunities there in the second quarter. He's going to want to take one. You might take one back to the wall, see if you can get a home run shot here.
Those look good on the stats. Flag on the play is Noel, fought outside. A gain of 10 for now.
Holding offense number 70. That's distance to goal from the previous spot. Repeat second down.
All right, that's Caden Green. Second holding penalty on him tonight.
Yeah, and again, look, I mean, he's just drive blocking. Got the hands inside right there. And
grab that jersey there to the neck.
He said, Coach, you teach me. Get the hands inside and grab on and try to drive him. He's got to feel as the back's going and disengaging. You got to be able to disengage and not get that penalty at the end of the block.
So half the distance, second down, Noel off the right side. Picks up a short gain of 3. Goodrum there on the tackle.
You see Jody Wright on the sidelines getting all fired up. He's jumping around. But like you said, when you're right now in these situations, you're finding guys that love ball, the guys that want to compete right here. It's 35-0 coming out. You're down on the road if you're Murray State. Guys that want to compete. If you're Missouri right now, you want to find guys that can execute even though the game's somewhat in hand.
Yeah, you're playing an SEC school. Some which think can make the college football playoff, and so there's a lot to like here from Murray State with coaching them, and that's over the middle. That's going to be a first down, and a big play waiting to happen. Here we go. Mookie Cooper started his career at Ohio State, been here for a few years, and a gain of 46 for Mookie Cooper.
You see the explosiveness. He's that third piece in that receiving core. They need to really come alive this year, get the ball, and that helps when he makes those running catches there and can create the explosive plays for the receiver position.
See if Cook takes a shot. Yep, it's going deep. Looking for Cooper again and just overthrows him. The deep ball hasn't been there for Cook tonight. And that's the one thing they said he worked on this offseason.
Yeah, he's going to be frustrated. But look at Mookie Cooper. This is what you want, a slot receiver. Makes the first guy miss, jumps to the outside, splits the defense, turns on the Jets right there. Good effort coming down. They chase him down, but the explosive play. If he can come alive as that third receiver, you have 3 big weapons in the perimeter. That makes you really dangerous as a team, especially in the SEC. You want to beat the top guys in the SEC.
Yep.
You have to have guys outside that can make big plays and score and win one-on-one.
And the fastest, the youngster Marquise Johnson. He's missed a couple tonight, but he has a bright future here as well. That's a long throw to the sideline. That's another first down. That's Marquise Johnson. Just mentioned him a second ago. They've tried to get him about 4 times tonight. First time we've seen it happen. Reed back in the game, missed the tackle, gain of 18. They get this kid going.
Yeah, that's
look
hard.
out.
Look at the balance. A little confusion there. A little late on the throw. Still a good throw. Kayvon Reed's had a really good night, but tell you what, these guys are tough matchups on the outside, and you get them one-on-one in the open field. You gotta make sure you get them down on the ground.
Noel tripped. No gain on that one. Actually, they'll give him a gain of 1. When it happens, assuming probably the 4th quarter, Drew Pine, the backup quarterback here at Missouri, transferred from Arizona State after transferring from Notre Dame. We'll see when Drinkwitz starts to empty the depth chart a little bit, get some guys some playing time. But right now the Stars are still in. It's Carroll on 2nd and 9. Carroll, the big-bodied running back, tries to stay up. Good defense by the Racers. Great effort by the guy, Tyson Miguez. They brought him up a lot in the meetings. And Vincent Dinkins there with them. Miguez, a transfer in from Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and played a lot of football at Georgia Tech. A really good football team, as everybody saw last weekend.
29 games, yep.
And played in 29 games there. And
really a night of opportunity for both schools. And what got out to a lopsided game early. See if Missouri, they scored on their final possession of this first half. Remember, this drive started at the 3. Incomplete, intended for Cooper. Amari Wansley, a good break on the ball. And that'll bring out the field goal team.
yeah, the coverage kind of, you look at Brady Cook looking it off to the left, came back and a little shocked in the coverage. I think he tried to look that off and lost the safety while he was looking it off. And Kayvon Reed was right there, almost had a chance at the interception after it goes through the hands of Mookie Cooper right there.
Blake Craig taking over for Harrison Mevis, one of the more popular kickers in college football. 39-yard attempt. The kick is on its way, and it's good. So they were able to get some points out of a drive that started at the 3-yard line. They tack on 3, up 38-0 over Murray State.
The new 12.
Then to quarterfinals, New Year's Eve, January 1st. It all culminates with the national championship. Longest season in college football history ends in Atlanta on January 20th. Question is, will Missouri, a team with a schedule for SEC standards, looks pretty favorable, with an offense that's loaded, will they be one of those teams? Remember, you can be a 10-2, not playing your conference championship, but be an at-large team as you take a look at their schedule this year. Next week, Buffalo, then Boston College, and Vanderbilt. 3 non-conference games plus the conference schedule. Coach, if you're like Drinkwitz, you probably like looking at this one.
Well, I think it's the most favorable schedule. I don't want to say easy because it's still the Southeastern Conference, but favorable schedule of anybody in the league. Obviously, you have the tough game at Alabama, but, you know, besides that, I think they're going to be favored in almost all of their other games. And when, you know, you look at that as a team, you're saying, hey, okay, if you're favored, that's a good shot of being 11-1. It may be 10-2 if, you know, there's still some tough teams in the league. You have to play that at A&M.
That's going to be a tough one. At Texas A&M, we'll see what A&M is this weekend against Notre Dame. But you take a
right there. That is a biggie right there on October 5th for them. But it's a very manageable schedule that they should get 10, really 11 wins, and that's going to put you in a driver's seat for a playoff spot.
But I mean, again, it's the SEC, and anything can happen because
on any week,
the 9th best team in the SEC is as good as anyone. Pass tipped and falls incomplete. But like right now, we're basing that schedule based on maybe a ranking you see attached to a team. I'm not so sure Auburn under year 2 of Hugh Freeze isn't going to be a problem for some people.
Yeah,
And so that schedule will play itself out with what we saw that doesn't look difficult. Now that Auburn game here in Columbia might be a tough one.
That's why we don't say easy, but we say favorable
right.
Within this league, because anybody in this league can win on any given weekend. That's how tough the league is, and the expectations of all those teams are to be great. But the SEC, it's not always about the one game. It's the multiple game after game that wears you down, the mental grind of being in this league.
Sacked. Death row. Chris McClellan. That's the first one we had tonight. And it was a turnover. They're calling it Missouri's ball. Joe Moore recovers after Chris McClellan forced the sack and the fumble.
Chris McClellan, the big-time recruit, went to Florida, played in 25 games at Florida. He's in there, got to be the replacement on the inside for the loss of Darius Robinson last year, and they think he can do it. You see why he was one of the best players in the country coming out of high school.
You see Drew Pine now. Brady Cook's night is over. So Drew Pine, the transfer from Arizona State, who transferred from Notre Dame, he's in the game now, and he gets favorable field position to begin his evening. But that Missouri defense a year ago, they had 19 turnovers. Good enough for first in the league. And we're going to review this up 38-0 to see if it was a fumble, and the official's going to run all the way over to the other side of the field to make sure they get it right.
Uh-oh. The takeaway. What do they got here?
That's a robe, the takeaway robe.
Yep, the robe. I missed that. I didn't see what talked to Jody Wright. They said theirs might be a QR code at Murray State that they have.
QR code is the turnover sign.
The turnover sign. To donate to their NIL.
Is this the Tom Brady tuck rule?
Yep. Possibly.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Why, as we take another look at the replay of whether it was the forward pass or a tuck rule, can we not, in this day, there's a lot of money in college football. None of us, here's the play.
After the field stands. First down.
Give him credit, it was quick. But with all the money in college football, why do we have one replay monitor that's down at this 20-yard line to make the official run 80 yards the other way when we can't just have two on each end of the field?
That's a great question. Or you should be able to move it around. Don't we have like?
Well,
isn't there like Wi-Fi that we could?
That's a crowded stadium. It's probably not the good. But why don't we just have a 20 and a 20 with two replays?
That'd be good. It always seems to be on the far end of the field, doesn't it?
Like let's be efficient, people. So Drew Pine, boot, first play of the game. Drew Pine looked like he had it if he kept it right up the gut. Jamari Daly there, so he takes it out to the right side. Last year, Pine, he was in control to start for Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State, got hurt in preseason camp, hurt the hamstring, and never really got it going there. But he was the starter at Notre Dame.
Had a big year for them back in 2022. Yep. Remember, the Carolina game had a huge game against them. Threw for 289 and 3 touchdowns back at Notre Dame.
So now, 2nd and goal. Right up the middle. That's a touchdown for Jamal Roberts. What a great moment for the St. Louis, Missouri native. You get an opportunity now to play in the first game of the season.
And they're checking all the boxes right now to score a touchdown off a turnover, take advantage of every situation. Things are going exactly the way Coach Drink wants this game to go.
So Blake Craig on for the extra point. That makes it 45-0. It has been all Mizzou from start to finish. 11th ranked team in the country racing over Murray State. 45-0 here in the third. playoff, a new era in college football. Here is Dan Mullen's 12-team playoff bracket.
Yeah, you see the 4 conference champions, Utah, Ohio State, Miami, and Texas. Memphis is the at-large.
Love that.
I have Notre Dame sneaking in. If they get the win this week at Texas A&M, they're another team with what we called a favorable schedule to try to get there. Clemson as an at-large, but I have these Missouri Tigers in there.
You have Missouri in there. I want to
Missouri and Ole Miss.
So I want to count here. So you've got, let's see, Texas 1 SEC,
Yep.
Missouri 2, Ole Miss 3, Georgia 4, no Alabama.
No Alabama this year. I think Ole Miss has the roster to kind of get that spot. I think Missouri, we talked about with the offensive firepower to win 10, possibly 11 games. Maybe 11 gets them, possibly into the SEC championship game. And
you have 2 from the ACC.
2 ACC teams.
You got 2 from the Big Ten, 3 from the Big Ten, Oregon, Penn State, Ohio State. I like those 3. I think those 3 are getting in. I'm not sure about Notre Dame.
Well, you know the discussion.
Nice game there on first down for Jennings, tackled by Williams.
The discussion now gets into, and it could even be more exciting. Last year was always who was 5 or 5 and 6 left out. Now I think there's going to be about who are your first 4 out potentially. There's going to be some argument for those back teams getting in.
I want to know, because next team out is 13 now. What is your?
Well, it doesn't have to be because of the conference champion rule. With a Memphis might not be in the top 12.
But of the 12, there's going to be a team that was just on the outside looking in. What do you like about Clemson?
I think people have slept on them over the last couple of years. They have a bunch of guys back. Their quarterback has experience.
Cade Klubnik.
And the Clemson's collapsed kind of story that's out there, I don't think they've fallen that far off. And it kind of gives them a rallying cry. They were good for so long, kind of got casual, kind of got easy. It gives them a rally cry in that team for this year.
They'll get to prove it against top-ranked Georgia Saturday, noon Eastern, ABC. I think it's passing complete there on third down. Sidelines, Jody Wright, they wanted a PI call intended for J.K. Carter. That's a big line in that Clemson-Georgia game, I think.
And it's interesting.
One of my confusions, I'll put it in college football, is why we don't look at what teams have coming back instead of what they did a year ago.
Yeah.
Like Georgia, Lad McConkey's not coming back. Brock Bowers isn't coming back. They lost a lot of players. Florida State.
Lost it.
And I'm not going to pile on Florida State right now because they had to go to Ireland and Georgia Tech had more returning starters. But we'll get into more of this in just a minute. But the rankings right now just drive me nuts. We've got a whole quarter and a half to discuss it here on SEC Network.
SEC.
Eastern 10 cents right here on SEC Network and the ESPN app. What's that like doing SEC Final at 11 p.m. Eastern? We're sitting there waiting for college football final.
Yeah, that's nice. Everybody can kind of catch up on their SEC football at 11 and then tune in to us
afterwards
on the college football final.
Usually when
everyone's favorite college football show.
When our show starts with an AM in front of it, because that's when we get done. Dari and the boys.
They're home fastest. They're home watching us.
Living those country club hours on Saturdays. Good for them. They probably have restaurants open in Charlotte when they get off of work. We can't even find a...
Yeah, the restaurants in Bristol are closed at that point.
Can't even find a pancake house that's open at 2 a.m. Again at 2. All right, back to the rankings. I was getting ready to... Okay. There was nothing that Florida State had coming back that was going to convince me they were a top 10 team coming into the season. That ranking was strictly based on a year ago.
And I had them ranked high because I thought, boy, the mindset. I think they're a well-coached team. They brought in some good transfers.
But that doesn't always correlate.
It doesn't mean you're going to be good week 1.
No. And so trying to bounce outside is Roberts. He does a good job on 3rd and short. That's why you don't need rankings until October.
Yeah.
You just don't need them. Now, granted,
Yeah, but then you got to. Everyone would freak out. Everybody would be
I'm
talking
aware
about
what everyone would do. They
maybe
freak out in college football all the time.
But we keep changing everything. Why don't we change that rule? I like that. We just change conferences. We're changing rivalries.
Like, let me learn about these teams first. There's teams that aren't ranked that belong ranked, and there's teams that are ranked way too high that don't belong ranked. So, like, I'm probably safe saying this on SEC Network. You're telling me with everything lost, coaching staff and players to the NFL, that Michigan's the 9th best team in the country?
Don't know much about them.
That's why they ranked 9th.
Yeah.
Based on last year. You know? And that's why when we look at schedules and we start judging schedules, I get it. It's a schedule based on the rankings we know now, but
I think the hard part, too, is teams get a benefit of the doubt by that preseason ranking as the year goes on, too. Hey, they started there. If they won, we're just going to keep them with this high ranking.
It's a good play there by Pine to Tyler Stevens, a boot. The backup tight end was in Norfleet, was out with the shoulder, got banged up in the first half. You're right, benefit of the doubt with the program. But if I'm doing things like when I looked at teams, we did, everyone's doing their playoff bracket. You look at who's back. I think there's a laziness amongst people sometimes, like, oh, the quarterback's back, they're going to win the division.
Yeah.
Or they're going to win the conference. Well, let's go look at these teams that have 21 to 22 starters back at a favorable schedule. And just because they're not a brand name doesn't mean they can't win the conference.
Yeah, and a lot of times, as we know, when you really look at it, like, oh, this team's a sleeper team, and at the end of the year, they really weren't.
And that's what I did when I did my bracket. I looked.
I know there's some surprises on yours that are going to have some people wondering.
Yeah,
like,
because I looked at schedules and returning starters. Like, everyone's laughing at the Virginia Tech pick out of the ACC. They've got everyone back.
Right here, that's an interesting one that people.
21 to 22 starters.
Will talk about.
22 starters back for Virginia Tech. And everyone's telling me because Cam Rising's back, they're just going to win the Big 12, the Utah in the first year.
But you have Utah. You still have Utah.
I have Utah in. I don't have them winning
So you
Big 12.
have two Big 12 teams in.
Right. I have Oregon surprisingly winning the Big 10. Now, I love that game. That's another shot to Tyler Stevens.
For all the fans here, though, I didn't see the Missouri Tigers in there.
Yeah, they're in there.
Were they?
Yeah, let's pop it back up.
Sorry, you have them at 10.
Yeah, and I've got. Look at the SEC schools. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SEC schools in. I almost went 6 because I think LSU is going to be a problem for people.
Very good team. Right, except for that, not a lot of, you think, boy, all the firepower. But no. Nessmeyer, there was a lot of, there was talks that he should be playing over Daniels early on.
Yep. I think Jaden's going to have a great NFL career as a Heisman Trophy winner. But you look at quarterbacks that fit what the coach is trying to do. Nussmeier for Brian Kelly, that's a match made in heaven. So they could have something to say about it. Like with the ACC, every bracket, good individual effort there. That was Marquise Johnson for 6. Everyone of the ACC, you know what everyone in the ACC, they're going to take Florida State or Clemson. Well, what fun is that? Let's get weird. We have 12 teams. Let's see some things happen.
It's going to be it'll be an interesting year. This is a pretty good drive here for Missouri, what they have going right now. As you put in some of the guys, some backups, some other players are coming in. As a coach, you want to see that these guys can execute and run the offense. So when their number's called, they're ready to come in and perform and get reps because they're going to have to play during the season.
Drew Pines looks sharp there to Daniel Blood. And that gets us to the under 30-second mark here in the third quarter.
Foul. Defense number 7. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That on Justice Cross, dead ball personal foul. It was really late after the play happened.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
You talked to Coach Wright. He really wanted to see effort. Guys play hard, toughness, but you can't be silly with it.
So off the right side, quick move by Tavares Jones. Nice run by Jones. That now the 4th running back we've seen tonight. We expect to see Keywan Lacey as well, a true freshman they were really high on coming out of camp. But that'll do it for the third quarter here in Columbia, Missouri. It is all Tigers, 45-0 in their season opener.
Coach, you're up 45-0, got the backups in. What do you want to see from these guys that are getting these reps?
Yeah, we just talked to them about playing to a standard, making sure we're playing great speed, great technique, great fundamentals, and don't let up on our opponent.
Thank you, Coach.
MIZ.
How you do it?
That's what they've been doing all night here.
Give credit to the Zoo. They sold out. This place was loud from the get-go, and they got 21 points in 3 minutes. But
Had to get in here early to see them.
Student section's hanging strong. Start of the fourth quarter. Matt Berry, Dan Mullen, Harry Lyles, Tavares Jones in the backfield. Drew Pine at quarterback. That's Jones up the middle, stopped. Going to bring up a third down.
Big third down here for both teams, Matt. Well, you know, when they talk about it, they want to see, you heard Coach Strang say, let's talk about the standard. Well, we got some backups in. The standard is let's finish a drive here with touchdowns in the red zone. Murray State wants to kind of finish this, and let's get a goal line stand to something to build off of moving forward.
412 yards, 413 total yards for Missouri tonight. The Stars scored. Brady Cook, 1 touchdown pass. Luther Burden, great stop there. There you go. See, look at Jody Wright at the 20.
Yeah, he's fired up. You know, because when you're a new coach in a new program,
right?
He was talking about we're trying to build toughness. We're trying to find guys that want to play hard, play with energy. And you're down 45-0 start of the fourth quarter, and you step in and make a stop on the goal line. That's something that they can build off of in his first year in this program.
22-yard field goal attempt by Blake Craig. He's been good tonight. Make it 48-0. So there's Jody Wright fired up. He held him to a field goal. Good for him. Positive out of what's been a long night for Murray State. All Tigers. Of each other in the program. 2 coaches left 2 years ago. They left major college football jobs, Notre Dame and Oklahoma respectively, to go to USC and LSU.
Yep.
They both lose Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks, and they're both looking to take that step in year 3. I don't think it's going to be close.
Really?
I don't. I think double digits. Wow. LSU's got the best offensive line in the country. We talked about Garrett Nussmeier. Miller Moss, quarterback USC, is the bowl game who he is. We'll find out. But SC lost a ton of talent.
I do like LSU. I think it's a big game for USC as this year goes on. In year 3 for Lincoln Riley to show now going and having to play a different style of football, moving to the Big Ten a little bit from the Pac-12.
Yeah, and I love what we're going to learn week 1. I love what we're going to learn about Clemson against Georgia. Because Georgia now, every year, they're just installed as number 1 in every rank.
That's a challenge.
That's just what they are, right. But Dabo has decided in Happy Valley, Death Valley rather, he doesn't want to play in the portal.
Not playing by the new rules.
He believes that he's still going to recruit 4 and 5 stars, develop them with the Clemson culture, and then NIL them to stay. So it'll be interesting to see if in this day and age, and a first down there for Murray State, if Dabo, one of the outliers in a sport that's ever evolving, if his method is sustainable to win ACC championships and get back to the playoff.
One huge test. Hey, I'll tell you what, a win in week 1 over Georgia.
Oh, my goodness.
That could change the landscape right now for not just Clemson, but the ACC as a whole moving through this season.
The one thing, that, and we talk about this all the time in studio, for your conference to claim and maintain legitimacy as a power conference come playoff time, you have to win your big out-of-conference games.
Yeah.
It's an absolute must. Miami going to the Swamp for the ACC, you have got to get that win. Clemson to get over Georgia would just be monumental for numerous reasons.
And you have it with, I mean, that big argument, and we keep saying that LSU-USC game, SEC Big Ten matchup, you know, a lot of discussion, hey, they're going to be 4 teams or 5 teams from which conference is going to get the huge number, the SEC or the Big Ten. When you're comparing opponents, they're going to come back to that game as the season goes on in those matchups.
It's interesting when we looked at your bracket earlier and a team that you left out, and for some reason I think it's going to be the complete opposite. I would be stunned at this point if Jalen Milroe come end of October isn't in the driver's seat for the Heisman Trophy. I think Kalen DeBoer going to Alabama was a home run, and that marriage with coach and quarterback is going to be seamless to the point where I think Jalen's going to elevate his game to a new level.
I think they're going to be really good, and I agree with you. I think Kalen DeBoer is an excellent hire, and he has done an amazing job even before they've played a game with the transition taken over from Nick Saban. But I'll tell you what, that's Alabama's schedule is not easy this year. They have some tough games, and they have this Missouri team coming in. They get to play Georgia. LSU. There's some games on their schedule that, as I was talking about, it's not the one game. It is the multiple game after game. And you look, the Georgia, but look at the stretch of Tennessee, Missouri, LSU on consecutive weeks. Little breather against Mercer, then at Oklahoma. Finish with Auburn where, in that game, it doesn't matter.
There's a team, too. Yeah, and at Wisconsin, bye week before Georgia, you get the breather before Georgia. At Madison's never going to be easy. I think Alabama goes in there and wins. But as far as non-conference games go on the road at Wisconsin, it's a good test for them. But, yeah, you look at the schedule. There's tough games throughout. Now, look, it's also one of those where we saw last year, 4th and Isaiah Bond. Yep. In the Iron Bowl. Auburn wasn't great year one under Hugh Freeze. That game's going to be tough no matter what. So there are a lot of intriguing storylines as we embark on a new season here, 2024. And Missouri, to me, is right in the middle of it.
And there's going to be, the discussion has always been, okay, the undefeated team, or who's the best one-loss team to get the final spot?
Right.
It's going to be those 9. How many 10 or 9-win teams? Is a 10-win team going to get left out? Is it?
That pass falls incomplete.
At the end, it's going to be really interesting.
So do you think with the 12-team playoff we can stop this conversation about most deserving or best teams? You think that'll go away?
Never.
Oh. It's like we let 8 more teams in. Enough with the most deserving versus best. I've said this numerous times now as well. When you look at how this playoff is formatted, it was created for Penn State. 10-2 every year. Can't get by Michigan, Ohio State. You have the new 12 team. Team like Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin, 10 wins. Can't get over the hump to get into the SEC championship, but keeps you out of the playoff. Schools like that have been so close to the breakthrough but haven't been able to happen, that is huge for them to have their moment.
Yeah.
So 48-0. What a great city here, Columbia, Missouri, as we are midway through the fourth quarter.
You wonder, and you think about it, and coaches in all these families. I think, my daughter she's spent as many Christmases in hotel rooms as at home. And it's tough. And, hey, your dad has no Thanksgiving break, or, your parents are home on the weekends.
There was one.
Now, trust me, there's a lot of benefits.
Right.
There's a lot of things you get to.
Roughing the passer, defense number 53.
That's the third.
Into the run, automatic first down.
Third personal foul tonight on Murray State. That one on Jordan Sonnabend.
Just a step.
Look, they're playing aggressive. Give them credit. They're playing aggressive, not quitting. But yeah, coaches' wives and coaches' kids.
Yeah.
Saints.
The wives usually know what they're getting into.
Right. The kids are born into it.
But the kids are born into it. Now, trust me, there are some perks, and they get to experience some really cool things.
That was the true freshman, Kewan Lacey, a player they're really high on, 3-star out of Dallas, Texas, went to Lancaster High School. But he's got some quick, number 11. They were excited to get him
really
involved.
Quick.
Yeah.
Is he fighting for the extra yard? Ooh. Well, that
it's
ball
great.
looked like it was out right there.
They jumped on it quick.
He got it right back.
Yeah. But yeah, it was popped out by Tyson Miguez.
Curtis Roper, the running back coach, coaching him up as a young guy. Protect that football.
You know, and we do this, for those of you that are new to us here, SEC Network Thursday Night Football. There's usually a portion of the show is Pine takes a shot outside. It's complete where I start buzzing, mulling about coaches and paranoia and everything that they do. If you guys would just stop with the all hours at the office, you don't need all of them. Give 2 hours back to the wife and kids.
There's a lot to get done.
You're not going to find something in those 2. You're
never know.
Not.
You never
See
know.
what I mean? What do you mean you never know? You know, I hope we end up doing this forever, but if college football gets you back on the sidelines, I would like to think that we're going to send you back as a better coach.
You think I'm a better?
Yeah, because I made fun of you for 2 years for being paranoid.
Better.
False start. Offense number 66. 5-yard penalty. It remains second down.
Maybe a more complete person, Matt.
There you
maybe
go.
A little
Yeah,
bit, maybe
there
a
you
little
go.
bit more not as high strung as some of the other coaches.
There you go. You just needed
I will have bettered myself and found balance.
You're right. You would needed 2 years of media therapy to understand. James Madison, by the way, a couple true freshmen, Courtney Crutchfield, both 4 stars. You look at this roster, Drinkwitz has done a remarkable job recruiting. In fact, the incoming recruiting class has a chance to be the highest in school history. But we were even having fun. Another flag on the play. Now we're just getting a little sloppy. That ball intended for Crutchfield, the freshman. But there are things that coaches will obsess over.
There's a lot of things that coaches.
Offside. Defense number 53. 5-yard
They just
penalty.
give it right back.
15 second down.
That you probably don't need to. So maybe we'll compile a list.
I mean, John Wooden started everything with how to tie your shoe.
Okay.
Whole lecture on how tying the shoes the right way.
Basic life skill.
Tying your shoes the right way, and you know, it's
but
every little
do
detail.
you need to be worried about someone spying on your? Well, right as the Connor Stallions documentary drops. But like, Drew Pine. Look, Pines looks sharp tonight. That's a good shot over the middle. Daniel Blood on the reception. He's 8 for 8 since he's come in.
Yes, coaches are paranoid that everybody is spying on them and what's going on.
Why?
I don't know. See, maybe you've got me to relax. I'd be more laid back with it all. Like, I'm with you. Why? Like, it's really not that big deal. Let's just go play.
Like tonight, if you were head coach of Missouri,
yeah,
old you would have been so freaked out that they had 65 new players and you had no idea what they were going to run.
Absolutely.
But knowing your team was so much more superior than them, the new you needs to understand is a great effort there. Again, this Kewan Lacey kid, he's got a nice future. He hammers his way for a first down. You hear the sideline cheering for him.
Because they've seen it at practice. They've probably seen this young guy practice. I can't wait to see him step out there on the game field and show everybody what he can do.
Look at this effort. Keeps spinning, keeps the ball secure. So new you
would be way more relaxed.
Would know that you have the better team.
Yeah, we're just going to come out, execute, worry about ourselves.
That's it.
Let's just play hard, have some fun.
Growth.
There we go.
See what we did there?
See, look what you've done for me. Therapy.
Under the 5-minute mark here. This is where you want to get the true freshman a touchdown. As Lacey continues to carry it. Sonabend, the tackle.
Yeah, and he wants to get it. I mean, there's guys getting in that aren't going to get a ton of reps as the season goes on, but are as critical. I think, the guys that get on the field right now might not get reps throughout the season, but are as critical to the success of the team, whether you're on the scout team, helping things out during practice. Guys within the program know how critical important all these guys are, and they want to see them when they get their opportunity come play and get the spotlight.
And are you having someone on the staff, because you're going to break down this film, they're going to do the cut-ups tonight, they're going to look at it, but they're going to focus heavily on the starters. Are there going to be members of the staff that look at some of the depth guys, some of the younger guys, that they can teach them on how to get better? That's not going to be a big part of the big picture film session.
Yeah, they're going to move on pretty quick from this game. However, they're going to go and coach through the things that needed to be improved.
Right.
And then the young guys and coach young guys, hey, when you get on the field, you heard Coach Drinkwitz talk about the standard. We got guys coming in the game. We just talked that we have a standard that we're going to play to. Are you playing not just the execution or making dynamic plays? Are you playing with the effort and discipline and technique up to the standard we expect you to play if you're going to play here at Missouri?
You know, I love the conversation with Theo Weiss yesterday, and I said, how do you handle last year something to prove? How do you handle the expectations that we have put on you, we, the general media? As the give to Lacey again. Lacey's going to try to bounce outside, flag on the play. And he looked at me and he said, well, what are your expectations for us? And I looked at him, I said, college football playoff. And he goes, okay, well, our expectations are to win a national championship.
Yeah.
And so the fact that that's coming from the leader.
Repeat, second down.
And they've risen from, hey, last year, great story. This year, college football playoff, SEC championship, national championship. That speaks to the core that he had coming back with the schedule, as we said, that's favorable to go on a run.
And I think that's a safe, but I don't think that expectation's too high. You know, when you look at this team, this roster, what's impressed me tonight, a lot of new faces on defense. They have got a lot of guys back.
Right.
But they lost some high-end talent.
They did.
On defense to the NFL. They've given up a total of 71 yards in this game. Offensively, we know they have the firepower, but I'm telling you, you get into those big games, you got to play defense. You got to run the football, and then you need some dudes on the outside that can score touchdowns and win. They check right now, watching them tonight, they check all of those boxes that they're going to be able to go compete with anybody in college football.
And talking with Coach Drinkwitz and his Pine, the play fake out of the backfield, that's 16 Daniel Blood. He's one of the coaches that's using the portal to plug a hole, which is completely different than the coaches that are using the portal to build a roster.
Yeah.
And he's done such a good job recruiting. He can lose a Darius Robinson, go grab a Zion Young and some of these other guys to come into the front and just plug holes while you've got the up-and-coming talent, because they got that Williams Waneri, 5-star kid, Jalen Brown Forster. They've got depth behind him, but they're plugging the hole to those kids already.
I mean, nothing bigger than Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll. You saw that tonight. The running backs and what they were able to do in this game of coming in and to do that. And that's the benefit of how these coaches are using the transfer portal to.
Defense number 40, 5-yard penalty, previous spot. Repeat, third down.
To build teams, and I think he's done that. And I think, you know, now you're into that. You establish, you have your program, you have your core of your program. Now we're going to go recruit certain guys in. Do they fit? Here's where we feel we have gaps. And you're seeing a lot of successful programs use the portal that way to build the roster. As will be interesting to see, as we've talked about with Clemson this year, that refuses to do that.
So Missouri is going to take their first time out of the half, up 48-0 here, 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the game. We'll step aside for a minute. We've also got the 2-minute timeout coming. All Mizzou, 48.
Since my Citi Custom Cash Card automatically
doing just being a celebrity reporter. You know, Eli Drinkwitz says we don't need a celebrity quarterback. We don't need a celebrity reporter. I need a guy that's going to roll up his sleeves. Daniel Blood, is he going to get in? Now this play call is interesting.
4th down and goal.
Because if you're paying attention, maybe you are, maybe you're not. This 3 points could be big.
There's some people out there
for a subset of people.
This game might matter. These points, this 4th down conversion or field goal might matter.
This might matter. Eli just raised his fist and he's going for it. He's playing to the student section. See, Coach Drinkwitz is like, get up for us and I'll go for it on 4th down. And we go to the 2-minute timeout. He's going to make us wait to see if those 3 points that some might need are coming, or are they going to go for it? Find out when we do.
Experience on a.
It's 4th and goal out of the 2-minute timeout, up 48-0. So some people
could be chance for both teams right here, though.
Yeah.
Big play, get experience on a big play in the red zone.
going to be an offsides.
Well, this
This
could go either way. It could be interesting.
Ball start. Offense number 76. 5-yard penalty.
Now the field goal unit comes out.
Still an important kick for some people around the country.
Let's see where. Is that on Pegler? So 26-yard attempt for Blake Craig. And the 3 points secured. Now 51-0. That might be one of the guys that needed it. Actually, you know what? I guarantee that
guessing.
guy. I guarantee.
I'm just guessing. He was excited about what that field goal did.
A little too fired up for this stage of the game. What a great sport. What a great night out here. I love the excitement in this town around this football team. Again, we talked about their first 11-win season since 2014. They haven't played for a conference championship in a decade. They haven't won one since 1969.
And 4 straight, 3 more home games to open the season up. Buffalo, Boston College, and Vanderbilt coming in the next couple weeks. And they're trying to create the environment to make this a really tough place to come and play.
Look at their schedule, October 12th. How and why are they going to UMass? How does that happen? Who scheduled that?
Some people say it's a good scheduling move right there, you know.
To go to UMass?
Well, I went up and played up there. We played at Foxborough, though. I played a game, but we had to do it at Foxborough. We didn't actually.
There's some of those games, you know, like
it was fun playing at Foxborough.
Mac Brown, our former colleague, North Carolina coach, we had a game with them a couple years ago on Thursday night, and they were living dangerously to start the season, and they had to go to at Appalachian State.
Well, that's different.
I said, Mac, I'm like, what are you doing? Man, this was signed before I got here. I'm like, don't go to App State.
Nothing against UMass, but going to App State's, I think, a little different environment.
Which, by the way, we'll be at App State in a few weeks. Looking forward to that one. As Jamison Holcomb, the new quarterback for Murray State. He's going to throw it, get some time, may as well sling it. No one there. Incomplete. And that was the true freshman star, 5-star, Williams Waneri, crown jewel of this last class. That guy kept that thing on the whole game. And it's hot here.
He's supporting the team all the way to the end, though. Building a culture. That's what Jody Wright's trying to do right there.
I think COVID created those masks. I know. So now down under 2 minutes, clock ticking. Let's talk for a second about Jody Wright and what he's got in front of him. You know, the story that you told earlier about him, you gave him his first chance, and now here he is as a head coach. Great conference to play in. Missouri Valley's good football.
Certainly a big challenge, but you look at where he is. You know, I mean, Frank Beamer, a lot of great coaches have come out of Murray State, and he has the opportunity, has some support from the administration. He's going to try to build it, and came in and brought a lot of new transfers, a lot of new faces in this year, trying to build a foundation and build a program in the best conference in FCS football.
As I said earlier,
the Missouri Valley. I mean, we're seeing right now some other teams, North Dakota State battling Colorado tonight in that league. And there's some tough teams in that league.
5 teams in the top 10 of the preseason in the Missouri Valley Conference in the FCS rankings. There's a first down. Stand by here. Got the post-game show coming up. We'll hear from Brady Cook, the Missouri quarterback. Dari Noka and the guys will break this one down in a opening night of college football. Arkansas and the SEC, they were in action. They took care of business. You'd mentioned North Dakota State in a battle with Colorado. North Carolina State was in a battle. That's more of a Sports Center audience and an SEC audience, but another big night to kick off the season. It's incomplete. Big hit. And Missouri's defense picked up right where they left off. I mean, to get out here, barring something crazy here with 17 seconds left to hang a shutout. I mean, welcome Corey Batoon, new defensive coordinator, taking over for Blake Baker, went to LSU. That's a confidence builder.
Absolutely, and that's really, if there was a question mark, we knew there was not question marks. Maybe the running backs, but we've seen those guys. They've performed at a high level. But how this defense is going to respond, and this is a dominating performance by this defense tonight.
And that'll do it. Going to be the final play of the ball game. Give credit to Murray State. They knew they were going to be in for a tough one tonight. They came out and fought. Big fan of Jody Wright, what he's going to build there, first-time head coach. But as expected, all Missouri Tigers in their season opener, 51-0. First shutout in the season opener